Here in Maryland, we started using, oh man, hold on, let me show you this one. Gosh, look at this crab, dirty. That's probably last year's crab. Been hiding out all season long, just waiting to get caught in the fall. Well, it's a beautiful morning here in Old Miss Paul land. We'll just look this way. No reason to look that way. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see over there. Oh, look at the pretty lighthouse. We're headed down here to the land of the thieves. We're gonna pick up the last 4 rows. I want to thank everybody that reached out, shared the videos from all the crab thieves. We're gonna get these pots moved out of here. Didn't have any issues over Labor Day. Hopefully all the awareness of what was going on kept them scared, we'll leave it that way. DNR got involved, thank those guys. Maryland DNR police did an amazing job, helped out, did some surveys. Call them surveys, not stakeouts. Kept an eye on things, appreciate those guys, hard working. They got a huge job, they got a huge area to cover. Bay is a very, very big place, and there's a fair bit of dirt balls on it, sadly. So, you know a dirt ball, turn them in, help clean up the bay. You just get this sewage treatment issue straight, would be real good. Beautiful rainbow on old Chesapeake Bay. It's actually the wrong way though, so we really need it over here so that the storms are behind us. We got the last of the pots from down here below the bridge picked up. We're headed up the bay. Gonna keep on moving on these crabs. Don't forget to buy crabs into September, October, November. Beautiful crabs right now. Big, dark, dirty, heavy, rusty crabs. The dirt balls must have heard we were onto them and stayed away. No issues since I made the post. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Look at this little bit of sunrise coming through. First pot's coming up this morning. Beautiful morning. We had a real hot stretch here of weather. Mid-90s, 90 degrees, very little wind, and as always, they're steady pouring out the wastewater. We don't like to say sewage. That's like a bad word, I think. So in this day and age, we say wastewater. Now this wastewater comes into the bay. Because it's full of nitrogen and phosphorus, we get algae blooms. The algae blooms, eats all the nitrogen and phosphorus, and then it dies. When it dies, the bacteria in the bay consumes the algae. The bacteria also consumes the oxygen. So when you have a oxygen consumption like that, all the water at 12, 15, 18 foot is all gonna be dead. And what that does to the crabs and the fish and everything else is makes them run into shallower water where the oxygen is good. It just so happens that's where my crab pots are. What you're looking at is pots loaded with crabs because they all run in shallow where the crab pots are and they get caught. So here's a shout out to Balmer City. You keep dumping all that wastewater, it helps me out. All the guys out in deep water though, they're dumping pots full of dead crabs. Obviously, any crabs shedding in deeper water, they're dead. Little crabs, they're dead. Fish, all that, a lot of them, they're dead. So, unfortunately, you gotta take the good with the bad. I'm gonna show you one of these pots that's loaded with crabs. Beautiful crabs. Look like fall, giant, dark, dirty, rusty. Some of these crabs might have got pushed out of the rivers. They're getting pushed into shallow water where they can get out of that dead water. Sad, sad deal. Well, it was a little windy today in Miss Paula land. Gusts of 30 knots, ugly weather. Didn't make it out. So today we have a non-crabbing day. Probably should go over and do a little work on that boat. Boat's getting a little scuzzy. Crabbing has been real good. We had all that bad water push them crabs up shoal right into my pots. Definitely gonna take advantage of a bad scenario. We got a lot of work to do on this bay. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Got some crabs to put together today. show you what we're catching right now. Beautiful crabs, dark, dirty, rusty crabs. Also wanted to let everybody in on a sneak peek of what's coming this fall. Got some trips planned. I got a trip to Florida planned. I'm also looking to do a series on American-made products. Gonna start out with clothes. All my merch, my shirts and my hats both are American-made. Looking at a bunch of other companies out there that make American products. Everybody's awesome in supporting us, domestic fisheries, wild-caught fisheries. If you're buying Maryland crabs, they are wild-caught. There are no aquaculture crabs, and there's no blue crabs, at least whole, being shipped in from overseas. Now the crab meat, that's a whole nother story. But these crabs, if you get them steamed, they're gonna be a domestic product. Well, I got some crabs to go through today for a buddy of mine. Do not forget the best crabs of the year, September, October, November. These are the pinnacle, the A5 Wagyu. These are the crabs you want. You've been waiting all summer long. It's still summer. We ain't to the 21st of September. Look at this stuff. Dark, dirty, rusty crabs. They've been hiding, I don't know where, probably out in deep water. Beautiful stuff right here. Amazing stuff. Just dirty, rusty, ugly crabs. Ugly as in good. Look at the size of some of these crabs. Ginormous. That crab's pushing 8 inches in size. Awesome crab. Rock hard. When they bite, they absolutely crush your hand because they are just jam-packed full. Beautiful, beautiful crabs. Do not miss the fall crabs. Look at these things. I mean, gnarly dudes, gnarly, gnarly crabs. They're gonna start storing them sugars as this water cools down. They get that real good sweet taste to them. Amazing, amazing crabs. This is what makes Maryland crabs the absolute best. They get that sweet, sweet taste to them in the fall. Unbelievable crabs. I mean, even these smaller ones here, the mediums, dirty, dark, heavy, jam-packed. They're gonna shed again. These little bit smaller males, they're gonna go from a medium to a large size. Awesome eating crabs. It don't get no better than that. Ugly, but amazing tasting. Leave me a comment if you didn't know that crabs in the fall were the best tasting crabs of the year. I know a lot of you guys on here know when to get your crabs, when to wait. Prices are coming down. You notice we started using lugs the last few years. The iconic Chesapeake Bay bushel basket is kind of going away. The cost of the baskets are going through the roof. There's only a few people that still make them. Their baskets are still widely used. For me, it's been easier. The guys I sell to can get me my crates back. These are like double the cost of a basket, but they're gonna last 5-10 times as long. Guys in Louisiana have been using them for a long time, and I guess maybe Texas. These will hold, if you stuff them full, 1.5 bushels. Man, look at this crab. I mean, just beautiful. Look at it, chocolatey, dark, dirty. I mean, just yellow mustard pouring out of them. Just a beautiful, beautiful crab right now. Thanks, everybody. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the like button if you can. We appreciate it. Thank everybody who's been sharing it outside of YouTube. And as always, get to work.